Hello everyone, my name is Precious Osayin and I'm here with
Okay, well, Teresa.
okay, Ma, please.
Mrs.
We are here to ask you 2 questions concerning the PTS final examination that is ongoing. So can we?
You are free.
Okay. So I would like to ask what were the steps that were taken to prevent cheating in the examination hall?
Okay. One, students were already groomed. As far as this school is concerned, they were organized. So we went further to perfect whatever they've started. One, we check them in and we do thorough session and the accreditation, making sure that none of them goes in with any suspicious material like phone, washes, paper, anything that can implicate them in the hall.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. So Ma, please, we would like to ask again, what were your observations concerning the behavior of the students in the examination hall?
Yes, generally, the students were well behaved, appearance, they were kept and respectful. And this is what I expected from them because this College of Nursing Sciences, St. Camillus Catholic Mission Hospital, Irumi, is a missionary school. They were well groomed.
Thank you very much, Ma. Ma, sorry, the last question. What were your approach when monitoring students? Don't make them feel overly monitored.
Okay. When I monitor students, I don't let them get tense up. One, we used to pray every morning before exam starts. Like 2 days, I say we will dance before we start writing. So I now calm them down because I noticed they were so tense up and filled with anxiety. So we danced and we sang before we started.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma, for
Thank
your
you.
time. Thank you.
Thank
Afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Please, what's your name?
My name is Obeta John.
All right, thank you. Please, I want to know how do you feel about your just concluded PTS exam?
And this PTS exam, is highly competitive anyway. But thematically speaking, the last paper was just gruesomely, cumbersome. And based on empirical experience, we just have to, document some of the points down. And hopefully, we believe that God finally does it. Anyway,
How were you able to cope with the stress of the school and your studies?
one thing in life is based on focus. Focus. When a person is targeted to getting to a certain point based on the expectation that the person has, no matter the side distraction, the person keeps focusing on that set goal. So over time, we have been able to navigate through the stress, hurdles, and loopholes in the school based on this drive that you want to get the certificate, irrespective of the environmental setting. So that becomes a drive on the inside of us.
All right, thank you. So, what are your expectations in this after this conclusion of this?
The end part of every effort is success, basically.
Yes.
So my expectation is that God should finally do it based on what we have done, what we have been taught, and the little thing, the points we will be able to put down, that at the end of the day when the list is out, our name should be among those who are accepted
All right,
into the
thank
school
you.
system.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
What's your name?
My name is Steven Happiness.
Okay. I just wanted to ask you some few questions actually. How do you feel about your just concluded PTS examination?
Well, I feel okay, though it was a little bit stressful, but all thanks to God.
Yeah. So what was the most challenging part of preparing for this examination?
Actually, is that I'm a kind of person that loves sleeping at night. And so during the day now, after going to class, though there was no break at all, going to class, come back by 4, then I'll have to do some kind of home chores, then go out at night, read, sleep. Sometimes I won't slept off. So that's just it. It was so stressful preparing for the exam.
So what are your expectations like now that your exam has just been concluded?
Success. That's just it. Success. Success is the key.
Yeah. Wishing you success. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's your name?
My name is Nede Great.
Okay. I just wanted to ask you a few questions. How do you feel about your just concluded PTS exam?
I feel so sad and stressed out because I was not expecting that kind of question. Well, I thank God for at least writing something down.
How were you able to like balance this school stress and preparing for your examination? Please, I really want to know.
Firstly, I have schedules that I normally used to work.
Yeah.
When I come back from class, I take a rest, then go for night reading and all of that, night prayers, and meet up with the reading schedules.
Hello.
Hi.
Please, what's your name?
Precious Obeto Sas.
Okay. I just wanted to know. How do you feel about the just concluded examination?
Well, the feeling actually varies. Somehow I'm feeling well, very nice. In another pattern, I feel. So the result has to come out for me to initially know the actual way I should feel. You understand?
Okay. So how were you able to balance school stress and reading for your examination?
Well, though it wasn't easy, we were told about the stress already by the people that are already done with everything. So with that experience and everything they've told us, we were able to cope through and know how to create our own schedule, reading schedule with some other things I have to do.
Okay.
You understand? Because it's exam, the reading has to be like double of the
Yeah.
normal time.
Yeah. So what are your expectations after this exam?
A good result.
Okay.
A
Wishing
very
you
good
success.
result.
What's your name?
My name is Abike Grace.
Okay. I just wanted to ask you some few questions. How do you feel about the just completed examination?
I'm happy that we have finally completed the exam, but it was not easy. We combined with the school stress and all.
Okay. Talking about stress, how were you able to cope with stress and reading for the exam? Like, what was your most challenging experience?
The most challenging experience is coming back from class, then deciding what to eat, and returning back to class to go and read. But how was I able to cope? Encourage making my friends, my parents, my loved ones.
Talking about what you learned from class and the exam, what was taught in the class, is it in any way related to examination? Just something different entirely.
No, it's not something different. It's actually what they taught in the class that came out in the exam.
Okay. So, what are your expectations after this exam?
I'm hoping, I'm trusting God. Yeah, because I'm trusting God.
Afternoon.
Please, what's your name?
My name is Oshonebo Glory.
Okay. I want to ask you, how do you feel about the just completed examination?
Oh, I feel good because it was not easy. It was not easy. I feel happy.
So, when I prepared for the examination, how were you able to cope with the stress?
So, like, it was not easy. The cold, the stress, everything was not easy. Going out at night, sleeping outside, mosquito everywhere. It was not easy, but God, it was God. All I have to say is just God. It's just God.
Okay. Is there any difference what was learnt in class and what was set as the examination?
My sister, though I would say there is no difference. It's because maybe the way they twisted the questions, because the theory was okay, was very okay, like accurate. But when you come to the objective, I don't know if they went to question back to go and set the question. I don't.
So, what are your expectations after this exam?
God has already done it.
Amen.
So I'm like right now, I'm seeing myself in post PTS.
Amen.
Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
Ma,
Okay, what's your name?
my name is Mrs. Olushono Abosede.
Okay, how do you feel about this your conclusion of the PTS exam?
It has not been easy, when you have been evaluated on what you have been taught for the past 6 months. But the beauty of the game is that if you have been reading like a kind of preparation before the main day, you won't find it so difficult. But of a sincerity, it's not easy. It's a whole lot. The contents are voluminous, they are bulky, and you'll be evaluated on those aspects, whether you like it or not. But God has been faithful.
Exactly. Thank you, ma'am.
You're
So
welcome.
how were you able to cope about the stress of the school and everything with your studies?
It doesn't be easy as I've said earlier, but when you look at the advantage, your focus that is before you, you have to put in the stress, the night class, the day class, the lectures that are being scheduled in a way that you hardly have time for yourself. You just see it as a price that you have to pay, and God has been faithful in helping us through.
Okay. So what are your expectations with this conclusion of the exam? What are you expecting to see?
Our expectation is that at the end of this exam, when the requirements for the selection will be made, that we all be shortlisted. I just pray and I wish and I hope that none of my colleagues will be sent packing, that will just metamorphose from this PTS to post PTS.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
My name is Obone Christopher.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you some questions. How were you able to balance the school stress and prepare for exam? Like, what was your most challenging experience?
The most challenging experience was sleeping when the others are reading, and when you get into the hall, what you have read so far, you'll not be able to remember.
So, what are your expectations after this exam?
My expectation is for me to get a success, to get a good result,
Yeah.
an excellent result, and that is it.